6'8" freshman from McMinnville, Oregon, Charlie Sitton. Number 33, center, 6'10.5" senior from San Bernardino, California, Steve Johnson. Number 30, a guard, 6'4" senior from Portland, Oregon, Mark Radford. Number 22, 6'4" senior from Portland, Oregon, Ray Bloom. And the head coach of the Beavers of Oregon State, Ralph Miller. And now, the Redmen of St. John's. Number 43, a forward, 6'6" senior from Whitestone, New York, Frank Gilroy. 11, a forward, 6'6" sophomore from Bellport, New York, David Russell. Number 55, a center, 6'8" senior from Bayside, New York, Wayne McCoy. Number 35, 6'5" sophomore from Bronx, New York, Billy Goodwin. Number 21, 6' junior from Brooklyn, New York, Larry Washington. And the head coach of the Redmen of St. John's, Lou Carnesecca.
And Lou Carnesecca and Ralph Miller will be watching two of the truly veteran, outstanding coaches in the college game. It has become a young man's occupation. Most of the outstanding coaches today, 30s and 40s, there are a few dinosaurs left. We're seeing two today, Carnesecca at 56, and Ralph Miller, one of the very few, in fact, we were going over that the other day, that are over 60 years of age and still highly successful as he has been wherever he has coached. All of the officials from the East, Cartoto, Pickle, and Pavia, as St. John's and Oregon State, their final words with their respective coaches, and Lou Carnesecca already with, we should point out, the Nassau Coliseum is not the home court of St. John's. This is the first time they played here this year or last year, so there's no real advantage in that regard other than the fact that the crowd, of course, is for St. John's. We welcome those who watch the Big Ten action between the Wolverines and Spartans, second half of the doubleheader here on Long Island. And for those of you on the West Coast, the second half for you will be an outstanding matchup, Arizona State and UCLA from Los Angeles. So you stay tuned, plenty of basketball ahead for those fans on the West Coast. For the Beavers, Connor, who was moved into the starting lineup at midseason, Radford and Bloom, the outstanding senior guard tandem, Johnson, the All-American potential at center, and Sitton, the freshman, at the other forward spot. For St. John's, Gilroy and Russell at forward, McCoy, USS McCoy at center, Goodwin, the transfer from Texas Tech, and Larry Washington. Excuse me, it's Washington, the transfer from Texas Tech, and Goodwin from San Jacinto, Texas Junior College. Two new members in the white of St. John's.
What Oregon State is going to try to do, they'll pick up the court, trying to create play. They'll pick up the tempo by pushing on defense.
We welcome those of you who have been watching the SEC, and what a match between LSU and Georgia. LSU barely holding off the Dogs, 64-62. We're just underway. The opening tip-off here at the Nassau Coliseum, and St. John's puts it in play first. Gilroy outside to Goodwin. Russell, number 2 zone, Dick. Oregon State likes the zone, and they play it very well. Bloom is the point man currently. It's number 22.
They will not stay in the zone because St. John's will probably hold the ball. Let St. John's govern the tempo. It's not a smart thing.
Washington up the alley. Tipped in by McCoy, Wayne McCoy.
They really had the zone spread out that time. No man-to-man type pressure at all on the ball.
St. John's has won 16, lost 5. 2 of those losses by a single point. Oregon State unbeaten, 20-0. Sitton, the freshman, outside to Connor. This is Radford, 4-year starter. Connor lightning quick off the Bloom. Sitton, good shooter out there, and he ties it at 2. The freshman, Charlie Sitton.
There's the pressure I was talking about, Billy. They're going to try to create play. They obviously got better ball players than St. John's, more maturity.
Zone press, not dropping back, too, with these great stealing fellas that they have in the backcourt. They keep that pressure up there at half court for a long time.
Well, the book reads on St. John's, pressed them the whole 94 feet.
Larry Washington, the shortest player on the floor. Off the good one. Way off the mark. McCoy. No, it's Russell who scores. David Russell.
That's a time when that left-handed shot of his really helped him.
Surprisingly, he turns into the shot too, Billy.
McCoy playing behind Johnson. They're going to be able to get him the ball. There he is.
There's Johnson, and that's why he's shooting over 75%.
Great quickness on the inside for a big guy of his size, but I don't think McCoy should be able to stay behind him like that.
They stay behind him, he'll set an NCAA record today.
He just handles the ball so easily in that position.
Gilroy. Rebound Russell. David Russell short. Wide open is Johnson. And he scores. Steve Johnson makes it 6-4 Oregon State.
He is not blocking out, Dick. You got to remember, he's the bottom man on that zone, and he was all the way out at half court when the rebound was made.
The effectiveness of the Oregon State zone remindful of the Michigan State defense of Judd Heathcote that led the Spartans to the national championship 2 years ago.
Dick, it's a lot looser than that particular defense. They're really running off it well, though.
Connor to Radford. Bloom. Not there. And it's out of bounds to the Beavers of Oregon State.
They must keep the ball in Washington's hands, St. John's. He seems to be positive when he's handling the ball. The other fellow seems to hesitate.
Radford way off the mark, and Russell collects it for St. John's. Oregon State leads. Russell not there, and Sinton collects the rebound. Contingent of several hundred Oregon State fans here at the Nassau Coliseum.
And McCoy trying to get on the side, but Johnson is so big across the back that it's tough to get around him.
Inside, Johnson, that soft hook, not there. Rebound, good one.
Beautiful bounce pass that time. They know how to feed the pivot. They work on it every day.
Foul against number 30, Mark Radford of Oregon State. Lou Carnesecca, the baseball star. Oh, they're going to call it the other way.
Offense. Dick, one of the things I think anytime a team comes across country, psychologically, I think they're always thinking, how is the game going to be called? And I think that kind of call right there is what gets them off balance.
Inside goes Johnson to make it 8-4. He has 6 points already.
That high, they got to get help from the weak side.
They really do. But McCoy was in a position to be way behind. No chance.
There's that pressure defense of Oregon State. And last touch, Lester Connor, transfer from Chabot Junior College in the Bay Area.
There's some man pressure on him right now.
They've got to keep the ball in this guy's hands all the time. Otherwise, it will be absolutely a blowout.
Inside, McCoy. Blocked by Johnson. Here comes Connor. 3-on-3. Bloom to Radford. Mark Radford makes it 10-4 Oregon State.
Louis wants his team to bring it up much slower and have themselves under more patient attack here. They're getting in a running game.
Gilroy, and a foul against Johnson for blocking. First foul on Johnson.
Dick, is there anybody that has more pained look on his face than Louis? I don't think he wants to get in this kind of up and down the court type ball game. Oregon State can run. Gilroy makes up his decision early, and what happened right there? Even though Johnson was set, he leaned out to make contact. We'll see him here. Gilroy's taking it right to him. See him lean on over? When he leaned into the contact, that's when he committed the foul.
He swayed to the left.
Yep.
That's a big sequoia.
To the right. To the right.
That's a red tree.
Gilroy makes it 10-5.
Dick, if there's anything about these two teams that's really different, is the fact that Oregon State, probably their only weakness is foul shooting, and St. John's, of course, a great foul shooting team.
McCoy rebounds, and Johnson holds
second.
Steve Johnson has his second foul.
And I said earlier that he was not blocking out very effectively, and there's a case where McCoy just went right by him for the rebound.
Johnson fouled out 51 times in his career, but only 4 times this year.
He fouled out 18 times in his freshman year. That should be a record.
Get back to the 1-2 zone now.
5 minutes gone, first half. For those of you who have been watching NBC basketball action elsewhere, welcome to the Nassau Coliseum. Undefeated #1 rated Oregon State leading St. John's. Wayne McCoy scores for the Redmen. It's 10-7.
He said at the top of the show that he takes on the challenge against good people. Looks like he wants to put the ball up early today. Nice backdoor cut by Bloom.
Radford from 20, way off the mark. McCoy rebounds. Steve Johnson has 2 fouls in the early going, the big center for Oregon State. That's Billy Goodwin. Rebound Sitton, the freshman forward.
That's a big shot, Al. Yeah, had a little run.
The key to this game is the kid Washington on St. John's. He must govern the tempo of the game.
Steve Johnson inside to score. Good move.
Nice move. Kept his composure.
8 points for Steve Johnson, the leading field goal shooter in the nation. As he was last year, he's about to set an all-time career field goal mark.
He looks a little bit like Bill Cartwright. Not quite as tall, but has that same kind of body and the same kind of great shooting touch.
Same type of rear end, too.
Washington, McCoy left alone, scores. Wayne McCoy has 6 points.
Very nice speed by Washington. That time Johnson went out to pick up out of that zone. Good feed.
Sitton to Radford.
Very little dribbling on this team. Good ball handling. Takes you back to the 40s the way they're handling that ball out there.
Connor misses. Goodwin rebounds. Stolen by Connor.
Nice.
Johnson blocked by McCoy. Foul on McCoy.
Boy, some nice plays there, Billy.
Oregon State does a great job of not letting you get the ball up the court easily, even when it's not a pressing situation. You'll see it right here. Their guards just do not give ground. Beautiful pass inside. You see McCoy get a piece.
They remind you of a good back-checking hockey club. Timeout, 12-9, Oregon State.
Goodyear took the radial tire and made it right for American drivers by making it all season. Built for sun, rain, snow. Radials that are good all year from Goodyear. Goodyear has more experience making all-season radials than anyone else in the world. So why buy a conventional radial when you can step all the way up to Goodyear all-season radials? Goodyear, quality and innovation.
3-zip, Denny. Looks like we're going to win the Michelob Light.
Now you've gone too far.
Would a bunch of guys really go at it this hard just for a beer? Well, consider it's Michelob Light, and that means a rich, smooth taste you can compare to any beer you like.
How many goals do you think we gave those guys? Hey, just one, Mike, the Michelob Light.
Michelob Light. Compare the taste.
When's the last time you heard about a price reduction on a best-selling car? Well, Chevrolet comes through with a price reduction on the popular Chevy Chevette. Yes, a sticker price reduction on every 81 Chevy Chevette, scooter, 2-door, and 4-door. Now the lowest price 4-door hatchback sold in America, foreign or domestic. You can actually save money on the already economical Chevy Chevette. With its big 30 EPA estimated miles per gallon, Chevy Chevette is the best-selling small car in America. And now, an even tougher value to beat.
National Sports News, it's new, it's rational just to call National Sports for all the latest reports. We're talking National Sports News, we've got it all. 900, what a wonderful call. 900-976-1313. 900-976-1313. Dial it, we're talking to you.
Dick Enberg, Al McGuire, Billy Packer at the Nassau Coliseum. 12-9, visiting Oregon State, leading St. John's. And at the line, Steve Johnson, the all Pac-10 center. Set the NCAA major division record last year, hitting 71% from the floor. He's hitting 76% this year, but only 66% from the free throw line.
10 less from the line than from the field. Of course, there's really no connection between field goal percentage shooting and your ability to shoot the basketball. More today in college basketball is your ability to score. Guys have a great repertoire of shots, and the offenses create easy shots inside.
Looking for his 9th point today. And it's 13-9.
He truly gets the ball inside on the golden platter.
Nobody guarding the man out of bounds. You've got two fellas with their back to the ball. Really, they show a lot of different presses in their defensive plan. This is 2-2-1 full court pressure.
Give the ball to the little guy and let him bring it up.
They have such good physical size for that press. Connor, Bloom, and Radford are all 6'4", long arms, and very quick.
And also very experienced, Dick. These are veteran players that Oregon State has. And not many teams around the country field this much of a veteran team.
And they go 9 deep with experience and talent.
Packing that zone a little tighter.
David Russell, rebound Connor, the 6'4" junior. Radford to Bloom.
See that jump stop, something they work on all the time in practice. Good pass, jump stop.
Oh, what a play, back door, but Connor missed the layup.
Flying pig over the top.
St. John's with a chance to pull within 2. 12.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Billy Goodwin dumps it off and out of bounds. Duck in 2 finals. Michigan State upset Michigan 70-66. Some of you saw that game in the Midwest. LSU barely survived a scare against Georgia 64-62. And Holy Cross has defeated Boston College 86-74. Earlier games on NBC. Sitton misses an easy layup. Johnson gets it back. And the foul is on whom?
I think it's going to be reaching in on Goodwin.
35, Goodwin has his first foul.
Goodwin should have gone right in and crowded instead of reaching right here. We'll see the play. Watch him. He's reaching. He should get right back in and crowd Johnson so that it takes up some of that room and doesn't allow Johnson to operate with that big body.
Number 34 into the lineup for Oregon State, William Brew, a 6'1" sophomore from Berkeley, California. He replaces senior Ray Bloom.
I think they'll put him right on to Washington.
Kevin Williams is in for St. John's. He wears number 12, a 6'3" sophomore. Williams replaces Goodwin.
Dick, the Oregon State club has quite a few guys with the flu. Bloom happens to be one of them. He was really sick on the plane, and I noticed him laboring coming up the court in his breathing, so he may be sitting down for that reason.
A lane violation against Oregon State, so one of the free throws has been taken away from Steve Johnson.
That's right. Once the ball was handed to Johnson, Billy Brew moved on to the line, so that takes away the shot. Now Johnson will just have one. That was a bad foul by Goodwin. He allowed, a 2-shot foul situation. Got himself in there to make the steal.
But St. John survives as Oregon State does not score.
There's your matchup.
Yeah, I told you they put him on him. This kid Washington, I can't emphasize it enough. If St. John's is going to win this game or stay in it, he must govern the whole game.
Boy, Johnson really cutting off McGuire inside on that. And they're playing man-to-man now, and Johnson really cutting him off.
Washington inside, can't score. Sitting ahead. Brew knocked out of bounds. Off Steve Johnson's hands. It'll be St. John's the other way.
Never, but never on a fast break pass the ball to anyone over 6'6".
Unless his name is Dr. J.
11 minutes and 36 seconds left in the first half. Oregon State by 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trouble spots like these are what separate Gillette Atra from all ordinary razors. The reason? The Atra pivot. It keeps the blades at a perfect shaving angle, giving you a better shave than any razor that can't pivot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many more reasons do you need? Gillette Atra, the pivot makes it better.
Gillette, when it comes to shaving, we give you the edge.
One more set, guys?
Nah, you guys are just too tough today. For Michelob Light?
You should have quit while you were ahead.
Would good friends go at it this hard just for a beer? Consider its Michelob Light, the rich, smooth taste you can compare to any beer you like.
I don't get it. You guys killed us.
Don't blame us. You suggested we play for a Michelob Light.
Michelob Light. Compare the taste.
Defending Pacific 10 Conference champions, Oregon State, leading St. John's of the Big East 13-9.
You can always tell a Catholic school by the length of the cheerleader skirts.
Getting tougher, though, every season, Coach.
Yeah, we're coming.
We ought to say how Al told those poor girls from Notre Dame to kind of go into the shadows last week when those girls from UCLA came out.
I didn't say that. You have enough problem with Notre Dame. You better keep quiet. Because Faust is going to get you.
We're going to see Notre Dame next Sunday against Virginia. You're seeing unbeaten Oregon State today, challenged by St. John's and Coach Lou Carnesecca. And a week from tomorrow at Chicago's Horizon, it'll be Notre Dame and Virginia.
There's that 2-2-1 pressure with those two great quick guards. Putting all that pressure on. Nobody watching a man taking the ball out of bounds. It is a tough press.
I wouldn't have Washington take the ball out of bounds, but have someone else take it and give it to
so he
Washington.
can be the guy that receives the first pass. Great. Man-to-man now.
Bill's always getting in the game, Billy. See him over there?
Yep.
Now he's starting to play defense. No, he's offense.
Washington hawked by Brew. Gilroy has it taken away by Connor. Sitton. Radford.
Oh, Johnson's wide open.
Look at that move. Oh, my. 11 points now for Steve Johnson. He's averaging 20.
You know, he's getting in so low. I mean, that position there is a 2-foot shot.
But Billy, he's been doing that for 2 years. Everyone says, why don't you stop him? But no one has yet.
Well, one of the things that helps is that Oregon State has such great outside shooting that you can't afford to slough off completely. So he's got a lot of things going for him.
David Russell charging against Russell of St. John's. Let's go back to the last basket by Steve Johnson.
Well, see, we said McCoy can't afford to play right behind him. They're giving him the ball. Now, he's only 3 feet from the basket. There he is right there. Looks like George Mikan, for Pete's sake. It's only 3 feet from the basket. McCoy playing behind him. You're not going to get the ball lobbed over your head if he's down that low. You got to go in front of him. Got to fight to get in front anyway.
I think you're going to see some 3-second calls made soon.
Well, he's got 2 fouls on him, but since he's had the 2 fouls, St. John's hasn't gone to get the ball to McCoy to maybe pick up that third.
Ray Bloom back in the game, the senior. Connor, Sitton. Well, they work the ball so well.
They reverse the ball excellently. Then they go to the back door.
Stolen by Gilroy.
Double dribble.
He got away with it.
Nice drive. Nice drive.
Kevin Williams can't score, and he is fouled by Radford of Oregon State.
Well, you got to like a drive like that. You know, there was no hesitation in Williams' mind at all. You're going to see Gilroy. There was the double dribble in the walk. Got to buy with it. Now watch this right here. Makes up his mind to take it to the hoop. Excellent play.
Williams is a sophomore, 6'3", from Hughes High School here in New York City.
Notice how he keeps his head up all the way through. That could have been a 3-pointer.
Stay there, Ronnie. Stay there.
His first point of the game makes it 15-10 Oregon State.
It seems that Oregon State's waiting for the Redmen to catch up to them.
Well, they haven't been able to handle him as far as just dominating the game in the backcourt.
Bill McShane, 6'8" senior from Houston, Texas, replacing Steve Johnson. So Johnson, the big center, given a breather.
And Dick, an important sub for St. John's, too. Ronnie Blair in the game.
Wayne McCoy kept it alive and scored, so McCoy now has 8 points.
Of course, Johnson's on the bench now, see, so he's got an opportunity to play big in there.
Ray Bloom, short. McCoy rebounds. Stolen by Sitton.
You just don't bounce the ball around if you're from Oregon State.
Ray Bloom, beautiful reverse layup.
They just give it up. They keep that ball moving beautifully.
Ray Bloom's a potential All-American. He's good. There's no doubt about it.
Hey, he's a senior. How hard to have potential?
Well, potential, I mean, he could be first-team All, second-team All-American. Last year, I think he was second-team AP All-American.
Kevin Williams outside, Bloom on him. 17-12, Oregon State in the lead. Ron Clare can't hit. David Russell follows it in. Russell makes it 17-14.
One of the nation's great leapers. Right over the back.
He's quick off the floor.
Shane to Radford. Connor blocked by Russell. Controlled by Williams. Ralph Miller not too happy about that exchange.
Look at little Louie over there, Dick. He's saying, hold it up. Let's get a good shot this time. There he is. Hold it up. Move around.
I think we're going to see McCoy getting that ball.
Oh, boy, Louie. Hold your belly in, Louie. Will you?
Set play. I think they're trying to get that ball to McCoy.
Inside goes Williams. And Oregon State's lead is cut to 1.
That's an illegal screen. Illegal screen.
He's going to get caught for some of those. I don't know if they called it that time, Billy, or not. But McShane is going out there head hunting.
He is. He's going out almost with tail hunting.
Foul is on Kevin Williams of St. John's, and we have a timeout. 8:08 left in the first half. Oregon State by 1.
My alternator light won't go out.
Uh-oh.
What do you think it is, Mr. Goodwrench?
Well, let's take a look.
Mr. Goodwrench has the right GM equipment available to work on your General Motors car. Thousands of dollars worth. But he also knows the value of a well-placed thumb.
What's the problem?
Just a stretched belt. I can replace it while you wait.
All right! Keep that great GM feeling.
Where Mr. Goodwrench works.
With genuine GM parts.
If you're a businessman trying to save a buck, Hertz can help.
My lunch, my script, pencil. Rent a car, $29.99.
Just $29.99 per weekday rents a Ford Escort or other subcompact with 100 free miles. You can save on larger cars, too. So rent from Hertz. Saving money can turn a small businessman into a big businessman.
We want to make you smile.
Mr. Simmons called and said, see you at 4:30 about the contract.
Good thing it's right across the street.
We're gonna make you smile.
Holiday Inn hotels are near where you need to be.
Right on time.
And that can be important.
You got it.
Is my smile that big?
Come to Holiday Inn where your smile says you're number one of people pleasing.
See top college basketball action as swingman James Worthy and the Tar Heels of North Carolina face Mr. Everything, Albert King and the Terrapins of Maryland, tomorrow on NBC.
After our college basketball game tomorrow, North Carolina at Maryland, NBC Sports World at 3 Eastern Time, live from Atlantic City. You'll see Hamsho and Parker, two top middleweights. World Professional Figure Skating, Ty Babylonia and Randy Gardner. Sports Journal, an exclusive, never-before-seen interview. The elusive Harold Smith, who tells how he got started in the promotions racket and how his relationship with Muhammad Ali began. That's all tomorrow on NBC Sports World. Here in the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island, Oregon State with the ball and a 1-point lead with 8 minutes left in the first half. Jeff Stout, good outside shooter. He comes off the bench and hits immediately.
He'd been in a little slump till the last ball game, but that guy is a picture book jump shooter.
What he does, he's a streak shooter. If he hits the first one, he'll come down shooting now.
Stan Morrison of USC says of Stout, he comes off the bench like a freight train. It took him about 3 seconds to score on that move. Wade McCoy can't handle a pass. Here come the Beavers. They may lead the nation in steals.
Well, when they steal the ball, they immediately get into their break, too. So it's a very dangerous club once they get their hands on that ball.
Well, it's Ralph Miller's philosophy. He keeps pressure on you for 40 minutes.
Radford banks one in at 21-16. He has 4.
Well, if I was Carnesecca, I'd get all over McShane with those screens because he's reaching out, setting some hellacious picks at the top of the key.
David Russell, number 11.
There's the zone. It's backed inside the foul line.
Nice pass by Washington, but Blair passed up the 10-footer.
No, Dick, he really wasn't ready to shoot, and that's what cost him an opportunity to get off a nice, easy 12-footer there.
He's open again.
He's not making the defense play.
I think you see Kevin Williams take a shot from the outside when he gets the ball. Give it back to him, other side.
It's going to be on Charlie sitting. Yeah, he's trying to push. One of the most animated guys in any sport. And we better not mic him. He'll come out with one every once in a while.
His happy Valentine's message might have a bleep in it.
Uh-oh.
Out of bounds. Oregon State forces another turnover. 21-16. The Beavers with the ball.
Dick, recently they had
someone to pick up Jeff. No one picked him up.
Rebounds. Blair.
Stout won't miss that one off.
5-point lead. Staring at St. John's. The Redmen with the ball.
Back to man-to-man now.
What they do, Billy, I just figured out. They play man-to-man at the missed shot.
Washington can't score, and a foul is on Russell of St. John's underneath. Second foul on Russell.
So after they scored, he must go back to his own then. Let's watch the next time down.
One of the things I think is interesting is St. John's in a real drought here, regardless of what the defense is. So they made a nice run, and now they haven't had good shot selection the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Frank Gilroy back in for St. John's. You look at 61-year-old Ralph Miller.
Bradford's about the only guy that'll put it on the floor more than 2 or 3 times before he gives it up. Everybody else, a couple of dribbles, and they'll hit a free man.
McShane with the ball, off to Bloom. McShane, he started as a freshman, sitting. Look at that passing. Bloom can't hit. McShane hooks it in. Bill McShane makes it 23-16. That is the biggest lead of the game for Oregon State.
Best passing team I've seen in 10 years.
Radford almost forced another turnover. Out of bounds to St. John's.
Larry Washington really taking a chance there. You know, you've got to protect the ball against guys that can come after you defensively like this. Very lackadaisical dribble.
Ron Clare off to Williams. Ooh, the dunk shot. Radford, he traveled.
Well, this is the second time Williams has taken the ball beautifully to the hoop. Good lead pass. He makes his mind up early that he's taking it in there. Great job. Sitting stayed right with him defensively. A gutty player sitting, just a freshman.
23-16 the score. And again, St. John's comes up empty. 4:40 left first half. Remember, Oregon State has opened this lead with their star center, Steve Johnson, on the bench for the last 5 minutes. Radford dumps it back out, knocked away by Williams. Oh, out of bounds. St. John's couldn't quite get to it.
Tough break for St. John's. Dick, you know, I think you talk about Johnson not getting in foul trouble as much this year. Probably one of the reasons they've been able to rest him a lot, keep him on the bench, and keep him out of foul trouble, having him ready for the second half.
Billy Goodwin back in for St. John's, number 35.
Sure, baby. Oh, those are illegal picks that he's setting out there.
McShane just going headhunting people. Look at him.
Radford can't connect. Saves it.
Oregon State throws a lot of two-handed chest pass right in the fella's eyes. Really keep the ball up. Very patient. And yet always attacking on every pass.
Reminder, we'll be picking our most valuable player, $1,000 from Chevrolet, later in the game.
The reset?
Yep.
Going 1-4 now. That's
There's illegal screen. There's Louis at half court. About time he's down at half court screaming at Freddie Hiker. Well, they really spread you out.
Yeah, what they're trying to do is get a back door here.
Radford inside, blocked by McCoy. Good one.
Boy, when you're down this much, you can't throw the ball away. It's too important.
Foul before the shot.
Now there he's talking about that illegal screen we've been talking about for some time. He is not going to stand for it.
Foul was on number 22, Ron Blair.
Foul was on Ron Blair of St. John's, his second. 3 minutes and 14 seconds left in this first half. The unbeaten Beavers by 7.
Michelob brings you the 7-day weekend, all America style. Americans love weekends, not just the Saturday and Sunday kind, but whenever we take time to enjoy the good things in life, like the smooth and mellow taste of Michelob. Because all over America, Michelob helps make any time feel a little like a weekend.
Hey, put a little weekend in your week.
Yeah.
At one time, imported oil was no problem to America. Today, we import over 40% of our oil. If supplies are ever cut off again, it could affect your driving, your heating, your job. Texaco believes conservation must be increased, alternate energy sources developed, exploration and production stepped up, because none of us want to be caught over a barrel. At Texaco, we're working to keep your trust.
Chevrolet announces America's lowest-priced, full-size, diesel-equipped sedan, Chevrolet Impala. Look at these mileage numbers. Now that's better fuel economy than some smaller foreign cars, and you get the economy of lower-priced diesel fuel. You get incredible cruising range estimates like these, all with roomy, full-size comfort. So get up ahead with America's lowest-priced full-size sedan or coupe, the '81 Chevy Impala, now with available diesel economy.
College basketball and Hawaiian Open to follow. Here's that block by McCoy, and then Goodwin tried to save.
Dick, though, when you're on this much of a snide, St. John's had not scored for a long time. The possession of the ball is the key factor. Don't try to make a sensational play. That really was a bad move that time.
And it led to a St. John's foul that has put Oregon State into the bonus. 1-1 now for the Beavers.
You know, Dick, you do a lot of football games, and they say the intercepted pass is what kills you in football. But I think that the bad shot or trying to make a play that's not there just kills you in basketball. The possession of the ball is just too important.
It doesn't matter what sport you're talking about, Billy. And Al, I guess the message is there. You have to play within yourself, play within your talent. Don't try to do something that, and I don't know if anyone could have made the play Goodwin was trying to make.
Well, it was a mental mistake more than physical.
Radford at the line. Oregon State, while they're the best shooting team in the nation, are not a good free throw shooting team.
Ron Player got up there that time. He's active.
Goodwin blocked by McShane. Foul on McShane.
You know, I'd take that ball right at it. I'd take that ball right at Oregon State and make them show you that they can stop that kind of penetration.
That's what little Louie's trying to have him do. You can see him. He's out there saying, hey, go into them, drive. And here goes Billy this time. He's going in. A little hesitant again. Looked to me like a decent block, Billy.
Yeah, I think the foul was on the other foul.
McShane's first foul. George Garrison, number 4, is into the St. John's lineup.
McShane did a very interesting thing in recruiting the college. He recruited the college. He went and visited different colleges on his own, and all through the Northwest there, and decided to go to Oregon State.
Well, I remember when they came through the Carolinas to play when he was a freshman. He started during that particular run. So they've got, as Dick pointed out, 9 players. They use them all. They've got a lot of confidence in everybody that comes off that bench.
And one of them is in now for the first time. 43, Rob Holbrook. That's Holbrook. Oh, can't hold the rebound, and it'll be St. John's playing it in, trailing 23-17. St. John's had gone over 5 minutes without scoring until that free throw by Goodwin.
Watched Holbrook this morning when they had an old rubber ball. He went all the way around the world hitting jumpers. He's a great pure shooter.
McCoy lost it on the baseline. He thought he was fouled.
Well, another mistake mental on his part. There was no place to go there. Get the ball back out and reset.
23-17, Oregon State with the lead. Less than 3 minutes remaining in the first half.
Half-court zone trap now by St. John's. 1-3-1, half-court zone trap.
They don't zone very rarely. They throw this 1-3-1 just to mix you up a little bit. They knew it was coming. They're very, very well coached, Oregon State.
I would say this would be a tough defense to play against Oregon State because they're great passing ability, and they'll spread you out, be patient enough.
They'll go back to man-to-man in the moment, Billy. They can't stay in this. They're down by 6.
And a 1-3-1 half-court trap for that team that's always trying to force it down your throat. Just a patient club.
Jeff Stout can't hit. And a foul is on Gilroy of St. John's. That'll send Holbrook to the line. Rob Holbrook who is also an outstanding baseball pitching prospect. Imagine him on the rubber at 6'8" and 210. He doesn't get a chance to pitch a lot for Oregon State because by the time he finishes basketball, the baseball team is halfway through their year, but they say that he will be drafted. He's a top prospect.
How many rainouts do you have at Oregon State?
You play a lot of doubleheaders.
I bet you.
You know, Holbrook here is what you call a walk-on. People don't understand that. That's a person that comes to a college without a scholarship. He tries out for the team. When he makes the team, he gets a scholarship. The way I used to do it with walk-ons, if they made the traveling squad, which is your first 10 men, then you got a scholarship.
25-17, Holbrook has his first points. Garrison, who's now playing that point guard, number 4. This is Goodwin. Winding down to the 2-minute mark. St. John's trailing by 8.
Oregon State dropped that zone back in a little bit. They match up very well out of this 1-2-2. Shane active back there in the back line.
Just don't have the outside shooting, St. John's. They don't have enough people outside to keep you honest.
And nobody even looks for the outside jumper. If anybody, I guess Gilroy'd have to take it or Ronnie Blair.
Well, Williams has a good outside shot, but he's on the bench now.
Good one, traveled, so they turn it over again. 1:35 remaining in the half. Don't forget, Hawaiian Open at 5 o'clock Eastern time, right after our basketball game. And then on the West Coast later today, you'll also see Arizona State and UCLA. Radford banks it in. Mark Radford of Oregon State.
You know, when they go ahead and press like that, it wouldn't be a bad idea to throw the ball off the guy's back and get it right back so you automatically create a pass for yourself. I'm talking about throwing it off the defensive man's back.
You're reaching, Billy.
No. If the man's going to turn on you like that, run him towards the guy taking the ball out of bounds, throw it off his back and get it right back. It's a smart play.
I love it, absolutely love it, but you're still reaching.
Oregon State in the final minute leading by 10 points. St. John's had a cold shooting first half. 17 points is all for St. John's.
Nobody looking for the jumper. Ronnie Blair gets it down the side, looks to pass right back out. Defense is getting more and more active.
But if you notice, the defense is shrinking inside the paint more and more.
Goodwin, pretty move by Billy Goodwin, and he was fouled.
New York City playground type player, you know.
Goodwin at 6'5" is from the Bronx, went to Columbus High School. Ralph Miller's Beavers with a timeout are leading by 8. 35 seconds left in this first half.
Flight operations, Hawaiian Islands.
155 is the Goldberg.
And the green stripe runner.
Bring up 155 on number 2 elevator. Cloud top to 28,000 feet.
Alpha Hotel, your wind is down the deck at 28 knots.
The Navy. Over 75% of our jobs give you technical training. Get one.
Launch aircraft.
And clear. Stand clear.
Speak to your local recruiter or call this toll-free number. Navy. It's not just a job. It's an adventure.
One Friday night, the Winchell Corporation had to send 1,777 packages to 1,777 places overnight. One carrier couldn't guarantee delivery. Another wouldn't. And one said absolutely, positively, no. Then they called Emory. And since we take more packages to more places than anyone, we delivered everything on time. So call Emory first. Because in business, success means being at the right place at the right time.
Michelob brings you the 7-day weekend, Texas style. Texas is so big, it could be Monday at one end and Saturday at the other. People all over this great state treat every day a little like a weekend. So any time is the right time for the smooth and mellow taste of Michelob.
Y'all put a little weekend in your week.
Yeah.
Back at the Nassau Coliseum, Lou Carnesecca's Redmen will be at the line. Billy Goodwin, 27-19 the score. And we got Willis Reed, one of the all-time basketball greats, will be Al McGuire, special guest at halftime. After our basketball action, it'll be the Hawaiian Open. Third round coverage, and of course the finale tomorrow. Goodwin can't hit it. Rebound Stout of Oregon State.
Well, go for one.
Final seconds of the first half.
But they're such a good passing team, they almost don't have to because they're not going to throw that ball away anyway. Really hurts if the team doesn't force errors themselves. You know, this team is so patient and yet they're always attacking.
Radford doesn't hit it. Blair with 7 seconds. They have to hurry.
He ought to take it to the basket right now. Too late.
Pass it outside. Ron Blair almost banked in a 35-footer at the buzzer. Lou Carnesecca says, fellas, it's this way to the locker room, and he probably has a pretty good piece of oratory ready for his Redmen. At the intermission, 27-19, top-rated Oregon State.
On NBC Sports World, see a middleweight slugfest as the hard-hitting Curtis Parker squares off against the powerful Mustafa Hamsho. Plus, coverage of the World Pro Figure Skating Championship featuring the heartthrobs of the 1980 Olympics, Ty Babylonia and Randy Gardner, the exciting team of Jim Milnes and Colleen O'Connor, the spectacular Christina Ragozzi and Andra Soleil, and three-time U.S. pairs champion JoJo Starbuck and Ken Shelley. That's all tomorrow on NBC Sports World.
Yeah.
Tim Braley, Brake Quality Inspector. This is who we are and what we do at General Motors.
Quality is the #1 priority at our plant because the brake is the most, as far as I'm concerned, the most vital part in the car. It's got to work every time. I feel like my job's got a lot of responsibility. If one bad brake got out, I'd feel terrible. I really would. I'm definitely not going to let that happen. I have a lot of pride in my job.
General Motors, people building transportation to serve people.
State Farm and life insurance. More and more people are putting them together because the agent who handles their other family insurance is probably the best agent for their life insurance too. We know our customers. We know their problems and their needs because we see them on a regular basis. The good neighbor idea is a great idea when it comes to life insurance.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's life insurance, the State Farm way.
Michelob brings you the 7-day weekend, California style. In California, they don't follow trends, they set them. So people out here don't wait for the weekend to have a Michelob. They enjoy that smooth and mellow Michelob taste whenever and wherever they please.
Put a little weekend in your week.
Yeah.
The new Yamaha Virago has a V-twin engine, monoshock suspension, shaft drive. Not just to get you where you want to go, to get you where you want to be.
Yamaha, the way it should be.
Gene Stapleton in Angel Dusted, a world premiere. A mother fights to save her son from a deadly drug.
We have everything to lose.
Monday.
Halftime, Oregon State Beavers 27, the Redmen of St. John's 19. Dick Enberg with Al McGuire and Billy Packer. Your impressions of the first half?
Well, I think Oregon State's playing kind of tight. There might be a jet syndrome with the 2 or 3 hours from the coast coming back here. Steve Johnson obviously got in foul trouble early with 2, and they took him out, which was a smart move by Ralph Miller. They could possibly have been 30 points up. Now, they're waiting for St. John's, and they're going to get stung if they keep waiting because St. John's is a good ball club. They just haven't untracked.
It is a bit surprising, and I guess if you're a St. John's fan, Billy Packer, you have to feel pleased that you don't play that well. You only score 19, and yet you're only down by 8 to the top-rated team.
Well, I think one of the things that really helped them is when Johnson got his second foul and he sat down for about 12 minutes, or what seemed like 12 minutes out there, he was the guy that probably could have blown this ball game open. He had 8 points right off the bat, put McCoy in a lot of trouble. We'll see him in the second half, and I think unless St. John's starts looking for the shot, they're in deep trouble.
Well, some of the biggest men have also the largest hearts, and that'll be one of the individuals you'll be meeting in our halftime. Al McGuire chats with former great with an X, Willis Reed, after these words from your local station.
On Walking Tall, Buford Pusser, a hero for our time who believes in law and order. Then on Hill Street Blues, Frank has to save 2 hostages from a gunman and a SWAT team. Saturday. Melissa Michelson, O.J. Simpson together again in Goldie and the Boxer Go to Hollywood. If Joe fights again, he could lose his life. If he doesn't, he could lose Goldie. A world premiere Thursday.
College basketball brought to you by Chevrolet and Chevrolet dealers from coast to coast. By the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. By General Motors, people building transportation to serve people. And by Goodyear, makers of Arriva. Even its footprint tells you it's different.
Sailing a tall ship is an old dream. But some men still dream it.
All that! Taking things off! Put it to sleep! It's Miller time.
Miller time. Time to head in for the best tasting beer you can find.
When it's time to relax,
America's quality beer.
one beer stands clear.
Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, Miller's got the beer.
Hey! You're driving half a car!
To prove Haviland Supreme gives cars engine protection up front.
I know, but...
Well, you should know. It delivered proven protection in punishing state trooper testing.
Yeah, but...
Where's the rest of my car?
Yeah.
Here it comes. To prove Texaco's Haviland Supreme delivered improved mileage, too. Upfront protection backed by improved mileage. That's Haviland Supreme.
Do me a favor.
I know. Prove how good Haviland is in the next county, huh?
Whoa, whoa, you want a show-stopping looker?
Right. Chevy Camaro.
You'd like a road-hugging cooker?
Yeah. Chevy Camaro.
You know what's coming down.
What?
Costs ever rising, refueling blues. You need a 20 mpg'er.
Huh? Chevy Camaro.
A fuel-sipping V6 with manual trans.
Chevy Camaro.
The 20 mpg Hugger is making performance affordable.
See top college basketball action as swingman James Worthy and the Tar Heels of North Carolina face Mr. Everything, Albert King and the Terrapins of Maryland, tomorrow on NBC.
Unbeaten Oregon State leading St. John's 27-19 as we ready for the second half. Those are the official statistics. Reminder, Oregon State shooting better than any team in the country, over 57%, but held under 50% in the first half.
That's kind of surprising. Of course, Johnson was out of there so much of it, Dick, and he's a guy that normally would have the great stats. St. John's way, way down below their average, and their shot selection, or maybe even the lack of looking for the shot, cost them some problems.
And both teams shooting poorly at the free throw line. Oregon State 50% and St. John's 42.9.
I don't like when a team that cold fools with a game. Obviously, Oregon State had a chance here to blow the Redmen out. You give a team life, and you'd be surprised what they can do.
Steve Johnson, who sat out the last 10 minutes of the first half, earns the tap. Reintroduce the players. That's Sitton to Bloom. Bloom to Radford. Into Johnson.
No help.
Radford, 8-footer. Not there. Rebound McCoy of St. John's. Off. Washington to Russell. And the foul on Russell for charging. His third.
Dick, there was another case where Russell really had already made up his mind what he wanted to do here. There's no place to go. Give the ball up. You can see that Sitton's just waiting on him, and actually he had a look at him for, you'll see it right here, he had a look at him for 3-4 steps, and there was Gilroy coming right down, filling the lane if he just came to a stop and dumped off.
That was the Morton City, should have dumped it off to Gilroy.
You know, Al, you talk about being cold. This gym has ice underneath the floor. A lot of times that hurts a player from getting off the ground. They don't get a good sweat up. They don't get loose.
Of course, this is the home of the Stanley Cup champion New York Islanders. Johnson threw up a prayer. Rebound Gilroy.
That time, Goodwin went right back in and took up all of Johnson's room. Good help.
By the way, Johnson was 5 for 6 in the first half. McCoy was 4 for 6.
He's wanting to take him one-on-one.
Foul on McCoy for charging. His second.
Stay as a team. Let's forget the playground. We'll do that in the summertime.
Now, there's McCoy maybe looking at a professional career, figured he'd take a guy one-on-one. He already made up his mind, just like Russell. Was going to show him he can handle him one-on-one. Very bad decision on his part.
Oregon State is well schooled on that flop foul. If you hit them, they go down. Blocked beautifully by Goodwin, but Oregon State, Connor with the ball. Radford, and a foul.
That's number 3.
Johnson of Oregon State has his third.
He really has been aggressive
Oregon
since he came
State
in.
foul is on number 33.
He might be annoyed that he sat us that long in the first half, but he's really been aggressive. He's going to push off. Look at him get good position on McCoy right before this. There's McCoy pushing him. Right there was the push on the back before the rebound.
St. John's, Washington into Goodwin. Good pressure by Oregon State. Washington to Gilroy.
Another thing that helps that press, Dick, is Connor's ability to play either a guard or a forward. He's got quickness for the small or the big guy.
Into McCoy. And a foul on Johnson, his 4th foul. So Steve Johnson, in a minute and a half, has 2 more fouls and a total of 4, and he goes to the bench.
I thought that it was Sitton that reached in there and grabbed him, but Johnson didn't foul. If we get a chance to see that again, let's see what happens. Here we go, Billy.
This is vintage of the Ohio State-Virginia game. Remember when Herb Williams got the little touch fouls? Well, he is kind of pushing a little bit underneath with his body, but really a touch foul.
I thought it more was Sitton reaching in there that created that foul.
Let's see if they go man-to-man. They've been going man-to-man out of bounds and then dropping back into the zone. Let's zone.
Deflected out of bounds by Lester Connor. What quick hands. He had 3 steals in the first half. And Johnson, a lonely moment for him. Chance to be seen around the country, and he's strapped with 4 fouls. He only played 10 minutes of the first half, and he's out with less than 2 minutes gone to the second half.
There's that zone defense again. They're packing back in.
David Russell can't hit, and a foul.
Maybe on McCoy. Maybe on McCoy pushing off.
It was his 3rd.
I thought it was a flagrant foul there. Almost a flagrant foul.
Knocked his man. Now that was really not an intelligent play either. You got Johnson on the bench. If you're McCoy, you want to stay out of foul trouble because you get playing time against a smaller man.
Neither team has scored. We played 2 minutes in the second half. Sitting on that high post.
Oh, McShane, that's an illegal screen.
Connor rebounds. Here comes, or missed the shot. Goodwin rebounded. We'll show you what Billy and Al are talking about in the illegal picker screen. We have an example of that, but we'll need a break in the action first. 27-19, Oregon State. McCoy way outside. Can't hit. Sitton rebounds.
I'm really surprised St. John's playing this bad a mental game now. This is a better coached team in this.
McShane, and Russell fouled him. That'll put McShane at the line. Russell has his 4th foul. Let's go back to McShane.
Here we're going to see what we're talking about now. Here's Sitton with the ball. Now here's McShane. Now watch him. Going to set the screen. Can't see it very well. See, he keeps moving with the screen. You have to plant your feet. You can't ride the man who's trying to get around you.
It's like protecting a passer in football. He just rode him out of the cup.
The person with the ball must work his defensive man into the screen. The screen cannot go after the defensive man.
McShane has had trouble from the line, as you can see.
A lot of motion on his foul. Dick, we point out good foul shooters with a good solid motion. Now watch, here's a guy who is not a good foul shooter. Watch, even with his strength, how much extra motion he has in the shot. That's illegal. He was over the line. And it's going to count, but he was over the line.
First point of the second half, and it comes with nearly 3 minutes gone. 28-19, Oregon State leads. The 2 top scorers for each team are on the bench. Steve Johnson with 4 for Oregon State. David Russell of St. John's has 4 fouls.
Oregon State sitting back there in the zone, and they're saying shoot from the outside.
Ron Clare, he misses. And a foul on Sitton of Oregon State, pushing off. His 2nd. That's Connor. Sitton, 52, had the foul.
Sitton doesn't have big stats as a freshman, but he might be one of the great contributors to college basketball as a freshman because they needed a power forward on his team, somebody active defensively, and he really gives them that.
Radford kicked it out of bounds. Sitton is mindful of the Young David Myers at UCLA is built like him, looks like him, and hustles like him.
You're absolutely right. I was wondering who he reminded me of. He doesn't make freshman mistakes, and if we had an all-freshman team this year, he'd be on it.
28-19. And Oregon State can't get the ball through that defense. McCoy, and he throws it out of bounds off Ron Player.
You saw the bounce pass by McCoy that time. That time he might have been open for the jumper, but Ralph Miller just doesn't allow that bounce pass to be part of his arsenal.
Timeout. We played 3.5 minutes of the second half. St. John's yet to score, and Oregon State has scored 1 point. Oh, my.
Chic Super 2 announces
Macho Shave. The Super 2 for the Macho Shave.
Don't just get close. Get macho close with the new Super 2. Each twin blade home to the ultimate sharp for shaves so close they're
macho close.
Fits Atra and Track 2 razors.
Macho Shave.
Get macho close with
new Super 2.
RCA wants you to see the right color. Does your television automatically capture all these subtle shades of red on this fiery desert of color? ColorTrack 1981 can. With RCA's exclusive detail processor, ColorTrack separates detail from color, refines it, then locks the right color on track. Even colors only subtle shades apart. ColorTrack 1981. RCA is making television better and better.
It's happening right now at Ramada Inns all over the USA. We're changing right before your eyes. At Ramada, we're creating comfortable new places to sleep in. We're building bright new places to eat in. We're making Ramada Inns better and better. Ramada, we're changing right before your eyes. For instant confirmed reservations at any Ramada, call toll-free 800-228-2828. On NBC Sports World, see a hard-hitting slugfest between Curtis Parker and Mustafa Hamsho. Then the World Pro Figure Skating Championship with Ty Babylonia and Randy Gardner tomorrow.
Ralph Miller was an outstanding golfer himself, but it doesn't look like he's in the mood to watch much of anything, including this game. The Hawaiian Open.
He's like a couple of us. Dick, that was about the most negative oh my that you've ever come out with.
It has not been a well-played game. 28-19.
The defense has been adequate. It really has.
Both teams have played good defense. But St. John's has scored 3 points in the last 12 minutes.
I've said this twice before. The Beavers are giving St. John's some room here, and if they let him get out of the gate, St. John's will give him a problem.
Into McShane, out to Radford.
Straight man-to-man defense.
McShane with McCoy. Great pass. Hunter can't hit it. And a foul. I believe it was Goodwin. Might have been Claire.
St. John's foul.
Well, you catch a cold on that weak side backdoor move that Oregon State runs if you're not aware of it defensively, because they'll hit the ball inside and watch the backdoor coming the other way. Here he comes. Beautifully executed.
Ron Player committed the foul, his second. At the line, Lester Connor. Connor from Chabot Junior College. He was never a starter in high school at Fremont High School. Now as a junior playing on the top-rated team. Should be an inspiration to young athletes who perhaps aren't as good as you want to be in high school. There is time. 2 more misses by Oregon State. Goodwin can't score. Rebound Connor. 3-on-1. Radford scores, although Carnesecca wanted traveling.
Good job by Bloom. He was kind of out of control in the catch. Came to the jump stop, got the ball back. Nice play. Well, you can see Oregon State's a club that can run. This game hasn't been set for running, but they really get out of there on the break because they basically have 3 guards in the game.
St. John's with 4.5 minutes gone in the second half, still looking for its first point.
Hey, Oregon State's defense picking up right now, and St. John's has got to get a basket because they're ready for a blowout here.
Washington can't hit. Rebound Sitton.
Yeah, they're on the move now. Louis going to need a timeout.
You can almost feel him starting to hum.
Yep.
Radford. Sitton from 20. Rebound, Washington.
the court. He's got to get in the game.
Gilroy to McCoy, knocked away, and Oregon State sees Goodwin miss. Rebound Connor.
Boy, that's Sitton's a tough player.
5.5 minutes without scoring in the second half for St. John's. Backdoor.
Louis needs the time. It's getting carried away.
32-19. Radford has 10.
They stopped that backdoor all game. That's the first clean one they got.
Bloom is asked to come out of the game. He's really breathing heavy again, so he's going to sit down.
St. John's must see a zone every game because they don't shoot from the outside.
They don't look for the shot even.
Inside, a good one. McCoy misses an easy one.
Big miss there.
St. John's scored 3 points the last 8 minutes and 15 seconds of the first half and have not scored the entire second half, and we've now played 6.5 minutes. Oregon State about to blow it out. A foul on whom?
Sitting on the illegal screen. Kind of lost his balance.
Let's go back to Radford breaking clean.
Here we see floor level. Look at that. Now, Ralph Miller does not like the bounce pass, but that's almost a drop. Beautiful play.
Nice camera work there. What happens is Goodwin turned his head following the ball. The guy goes backdoor on the weak side, and obviously it's a deuce.
Third foul on Sitton.
Williams back in the game. Now, he went to the hoop pretty well in the first half, but they really need somebody that'll take the outside jumper.
There's 12, Williams. Gilroy, he's a good outside shooter.
Kevin will shoot it.
And it's in rebounds.
You can just feel the tempo going Oregon State's way completely now.
Backdoor again. Connor saves it. McShane.
Walk.
Stout. Rebound McCoy. St. John's. 7 minutes gone second half. And timeout St. John's with 7 minutes and 3 seconds gone in the second half. St. John's still with the same 19 points they had at the intermission. Oregon State has moved ahead by 13.
If you're shopping for a new car, it's smart to talk to an Allstate agent before you buy.
Before I buy? Why?
Some cars get a break on insurance at Allstate.
Oh, we'll be right back.
Let's face it, all cars aren't built the same. At Allstate, some cost less to insure.
Buy one of these and we'll pass the savings on to you. Up to 35% less on comprehensive.
35%?
We'll be right back.
Different rates for different cars. You're in good hands with Allstate.
That's a promise for me, Judy Davis.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
Tide's just right.
That'll be a full moon.
Hardly any wind.
And the lowing brow is cold.
Sure beats the office.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be low and brow.
Sure hope the fish don't bother us.
Reminder, tomorrow on NBC at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, Alan, Billy, and I will be down at College Park, Maryland to see the ACC contest between the Tar Heels and the Terrapins of Maryland. Both teams need a victory, stay in the running for a playoff spot. Then at 3 o'clock, NBC Sports World, 2 top middleweights fighting for a shot at the title. It'll be Hamshow against Parker. Then final round action, Hawaiian Open, 4:30 Eastern Time. That's all tomorrow on NBC Sports, the leader in innovative sports television. Final scores today in college basketball. 4th-rated LSU beat Georgia 64-62. Wake Forest over Duke 58-52. Virginia still unbeaten. They took care of Clemson 73-58. Virginia will play Georgia Tech and Duke next week before we see them on Sunday against Notre Dame. So it's fairly likely that the Cavaliers will still be unbeaten. McCoy hits the side of the backboard.
Well, they got to worry about Georgia Tech. That's a tough one.
You're working it.
(32-19) Oregon State.
Boy, they keep the pressure on you and handle that ball so solid.
Lester Connor, he can't hit, and McCoy rebounds. It has been incredibly cold for these two teams. you're talking about the best shooting team in college basketball. Gilroy can't hit. This may be a shutout.
You know, Johnson out of the ball game for so long, and Oregon State keeps building, but they haven't been able to blow it totally out. It's still only a 13-point.
Charlie Sittons can't score, and Flair rebounds.
All right, let's get it together. Hold it. Let's get it together. We need a basket.
Foul is on Connor. 8 minutes, 8 seconds gone in the second half. St. John's has still not scored, and counting the end of the first half, they've gone over 16 minutes, scoring 1 field goal and 1 free throw, and yet they only trail by 13 points.
Against the #1 team in the nation.
Just about when you thought you'd seen everything, eh, Coach?
Sometimes you play to the level of the competition. And what's happening today is that St. John's is kind of playing a sloppy ball game. Oregon State having to do some of the same.
David Russell can't hit. Connor at 6'4", the second leading rebounder for Oregon State. And a turnover by the Beavers. Here comes Holbrook in.
Did you see Ralph Miller on that play? I guess he didn't want Sitton to bring that ball up court. Get rid of it. Sitton's going to sit down so fast it's not funny.
This is a nice shot from the top. Oh, excuse me. It went away from the shot. Here it is. Watch how tight they stay relatively in the paint. One man goes out, the other 4 will stay down in the paint.
No sense going out. St. John's hasn't shown
See,
they
they're
can hit a
staying
jumper.
back in there. They got the middle blocked up. See the 3 men in there, and there's the 4th man in. All inside the red paint there.
It's a tough zone.
Fouled as Connor got a piece of Goodwin. So Goodwin has a chance to break the shutout. Oregon State has whitewashed St. John's for 8 minutes and 47 seconds of the second half, and now at the line is Goodwin. That's just, if you could have told anyone watching today that St. John's wouldn't score for nearly a half of the second 20 minutes, I'd say you're crazy, but Goodwin needs a point or it's going to be close to that.
His wrist,
close.
He's praying. His wrist is swinging around. He's trying to wish it in. You got to stand up there, pal. Up and over the front rim.
There it is.
You knew they would go crazy here.
We got ourselves a game.
32-20. Holbrook to Stout. And now the crowd is in the game, at least for St. John's. McShane. Look at Oregon State patiently working back out.
Back door.
Radford.
Call that in charge. Look at Louis. He's got to be so frustrated that his club cannot get something going offensively.
Yeah, but Bill, he's staying in the ball game. He's working the ball game. He doesn't give up. He's hanging there all the way.
It's really interesting. Down the other end of the floor, you got Ralph Miller, who's just acting like he's seeing something he doesn't even want to believe.
There it is again, and show you that zone defense of Oregon State's. McCoy to Washington. Can't hit. Got away with a foul. McShane rebounded. 10.5 minutes left. Holbrook. You won't see that push shot very often anymore.
Dick, that's what he was doing when he went around the world today in that little shooting game. The kid is a great pure shooter.
34-20. Holbrook has 4.
Radford got a piece of that ball. You better not put it down in front of him.
10 left. 10-9. 10-8. St. John's, unless they hurry, will not have scored a field goal in this first 10 minutes of the second half. Washington at the top of the board. Traveling against Radford. St. John's has not scored in the first 10 minutes of the second half. It's
a field goal.
34-20. A field goal. They've scored 1 field goal and 2 free throws in the last 19 minutes.
Surprisingly, Oregon State hasn't done too much.
That's right. That's right.
They have backed that zone in so tight that somebody's going to have to look to take a jumper.
McCoy misses everything. Russell misses. And Holbrook rebounds. 3-on-2.
6'9". Nice dribble.
Connor pulls up and scores. 36-20. That's Oregon State's biggest lead.
St. John's isn't shooting. They're throwing the ball up there instead of shooting it up there.
It's a pretty tough zone they're up against. Let's be honest about it. They've got good size, great quickness on the wings. They know what to do. They have excellent position. St. John's won't take a jump shot, so makes it even more effective.
Goodwin is fouled by McShane. And another thing, Billy, we should point out, Oregon State showing its strength on the bench. You've got Steve Johnson and Charlie Sitton, two starters on the sidelines, and their two replacements, Holbrook and McShane, playing very well. Both have been starters prior to this year.
Dick, this really hasn't been a picturesque type ball game, but you know what? Something I know this is going to sound like a puff, but it really isn't. Here we have of all-time winning teams in the country. You've got St. John's number 4, Oregon State number 5. Had never played before, and I think one of the great things that our network is doing with college basketball, and I said again, it might sound like a puff, but I really mean it, is to match these two teams up. It's hard for me to believe that with all these wins they've had, they have never met in college basketball. And I think it's a good thing to get this intersectional rivalry.
Are you renegotiating your contract?
Yeah, well, I'm working on it.
I'll give you a point for it. Trevor Jackson, number 32, comes in. Wayne McCoy giving a breather for St. John's.
And it's only a 14-point spread.
Wonder when Johnson's coming back in the game.
Never leave their pattern. They always stay in what they're supposed to do.
8:50 left. Foul. Good one. St. John's, his third. Here comes Steve Johnson. Ralph Miller has just sent Johnson back into the game.
Ralph Miller got the most valuable coach for a year in the Big Ten, got it in the Missouri Valley, and last year got it in the Pac-10.
And Iowa,
Coach of the year.
Iowa, Wichita State, and Oregon State.
That's something.
Name me another coach that's been the coach of the year in 3 different conferences. You're going to have to work on that one.
No, I need some time.
St. John's forces the mistake. Good one. Russell. David Russell. That is the first field goal.
I know.
In almost 17 minutes.
The fellow that's coaching in South Carolina now?
No.
6 points for Russell. He's averaging much more.
Johnson's going to foul out if he doesn't watch it. He's just shoving and pushing in there.
This one is against number 32, Trevor Jackson of St. John's, his first. And a timeout. 8 minutes and 17 seconds left in this game. St. John's, despite the fact they have only 24 points, are still within a dozen of number 1.
We live in interesting times. Times in which it's possible to pay nearly $10,000 for, say, a Toyota or a Datsun, while this spacious Chevy Malibu can be yours for thousands less. That's right, this family-size 6-passenger Malibu with an efficient V6 engine, power steering, power brakes, and radials. And the price? $6,870. Chevy Malibu Sports Sedan, the lowest priced 6-passenger V6 sedan in America. But you'd never know it by looking at it.
Ready for a real chainsaw? Now's the time to move up to Red, Homelight Red. Because now your dealer's making it easy to get your hands on a Homelight. Like the powerful new 330, feature-packed with solid-state ignition, pro-style handguards, anti-vibration system, automatic chain oiling, and right now, a rugged $25 carry case free. Move up to Red at your Homelight dealer. Check out the savings on the 330 and other fine chainsaws from Homelight.
The rave reviews keep pouring in for Hill Street Blues. Does for cops what Lou Grant has done for newspapers. Saturday at 10, 9 Central and Mountain.
Nassau Coliseum, the scene, around 10,000 fans here in Long Island to see Oregon State. Rated number 1 in the coaches poll. Unbeaten, Ralph Miller's Beavers, 20-0, their best start ever in the history of that school. And as Billy pointed out, one of the winningest teams in college basketball history. Been a dour Miller on the sidelines today. Always quite serious, but I'm sure he's not pleased with how his team's played, despite the fact they've been in command of the game throughout.
There's Johnson, and he has come into the game about as aggressive as any big man I've seen. Of course, he's been sitting a long time, and I know he wants to impress people on national television.
Way off the mark, David Russell rebounds. Boy, he's a big 6'6", isn't he? St. John's could pull within 10.
And a man now by Oregon State.
Kevin Williams scores. And it's 36-20.
Man to man because they missed the shot down the other end. That's their cue.
Look at Johnson now. I'll be surprised if he stays in this ball game because he's got Jackson, a much smaller and weaker man, and he's just really shoving. Back door, great passing, and Johnson scores. Johnson with 13 to lead all scores, 7.5 minutes remaining.
St. John's wisely threw over the press that time.
See, they scored down there. Now they set into a zone because they scored.
Good one. Oh, my.
Hey, the run is started. 10-pointer.
I just got a sneaky feeling they're going to make a run.
Inside to Johnson.
No, on the floor.
Foul before the shot on Trevor Jackson, number 32, his second.
Trevor Jackson just too weak to go ahead and handle Johnson in here. Johnson just leaning at him.
Holbrook comes out of the Oregon State lineup. Ray Bloom is back in for the Beavers.
Dick, you know, you mentioned before about the 1,000 games that both of these teams have won. The thing that, checking those records, the thing that's amazing to me is the fact that there's 3 teams from the Pacific Northwest that have won over 1,000 games. With Washington and Washington State also having done it.
Johnson is now 2 for 4 from the line, 14 points total.
Johnson has a 6-month-old son called Marcus, and he's wearing 2-year-old clothes already.
Marcus Johnson, not a bad basketball name. Gets them both, and it's 30, make that 40 to 28, a 12-point lead for Oregon State. 7 minutes left.
Got to throw over this press. The guys are too quick to dribble by him.
Tomorrow it's Maryland hosting North Carolina. David Russell. Nice rebound. Kevin Williams.
Hey, Williams has been aggressive all day long. Really going to the hoop.
7 points for Williams. Jeff Stout. Not there. Sitton. Oh, what a save. And
what a break. That was beautiful.
Johnson scores.
Of course, he did the wise thing. He threw it back under his own basket instead of throwing it the other direction.
The freshman Sitton made the play.
Lobbed him in the corner. That's a crazy pass.
Good one. It's a soft touch. 42-32.
If they can break the double digit with less than 5 minutes to go, they can be right in this ball game. They're down 10. There's 6 minutes to go.
Certainly has picked up in this last 4 minutes.
Oh, they're bouncing off.
Johnson wide open. He has 19 points despite the fact he's played less than half the game.
Jackson's trying to run him on the high post.
Russell. Johnson forced the turnover, and Ray Bloom came up with it. That's 4 on Sitton. Let's go back to Sitton's play where he not only saved the ball but set up Johnson for a freak 2.
With C. Stout shooting the jumper. Look at that beautiful form on that jump shot. Now here's Sitton going out of bounds. Throws it right back in under his own basket. Got a break here. Johnson normally probably would have headed the other direction. He is really tough in around that basket.
Timeout here at the Nassau Coliseum with 5:25 left in the game. Oregon State looking for 21 in a row, leads by 12.
In 1931, Texaco developed a new gasoline for emergency vehicles called Fire Chief. Not just for fire engines, but family cars too. In 1941, Texaco helped create a fuel refining process for the national defense.
For tomorrow, Texaco is working on a way of turning America's plentiful coal into clean burning gas. These are some of the ways Texaco is making good use of America's energy resources. Texaco, we're working to keep your trust.
At Atari, our game cartridges undergo grueling tests. We put Kareem Abdul-Jabbar up against Atari basketball.
Oh, man, what a move.
We let Mario Andretti test drive Atari Night Driver.
This game really cracks me up.
And the great Pele himself tested Pele's championship soccer.
What a gig, it beat me again.
At Atari, we take our games seriously, so you have more fun.
How'd you do, Kareem? I'm glad I won't face Atari in the playoffs.
No other video game company stacks up to Atari. See exciting third-round coverage as the world's top pro golfers tee off after a $325,000 purse amid the beauty and splendor of the Hawaiian Open later today.
44-32, Oregon State leading St. John's. Dick Enberg with St. John, what, 1952? You graduated in 58. Al McGuire.
Let's give a Valentine's smile, everybody.
Happy Valentine's to all the loved ones. Reminder, golf coming up on NBC, the Hawaiian Open, third round. 10 points for Billy Goodwin. He's 4 for 5 from the line, trying to pull St. John's within 10. 5:25 left.
Boy, Johnson cleans you out in there. Now that the ball, you can get in that lane as soon as the ball's released from the shooter. Watch the big guy come across the lane against McCoy. Their body's really moving.
Goodwin makes it 44-34.
St. John's got to pick up all over the court now. They got to create play. Move up.
Oh, Bradford dribbled it off his own foot.
Take it to the hoop.
Kevin Williams scores. 8-point lead with 5 minutes left.
Uh-oh, that's all she wrote again.
Johnson inside gets it back.
Notice how well he moved to the ball that time. Oh, he stepped inbounds on the throw-in. Ball going over to Oregon State. Big turnover.
Here's the leaderboard in the Hawaiian Open in the third round. Nick Saldo, what did he shoot? Something like a 62 yesterday.
How would you like to know you got Watson, though, on your heels 2 strokes off?
Steve Johnson scores again. That's about as short a bank shot as you'll ever see.
He is so tough down low. It's great position, really powers it in.
You got to play him before he gets the ball. After he gets the ball, all you can do is pray.
He has 23 points, and there's Oregon State turning it over again. Boy, they have good pressure defense.
Well, those 2 guys are 6'4". Dick, and they're so quick. Now they got 3 guys back there, really are guards, but they're so quick they can handle a bigger pass over their head. Really good on the press.
Condis has very long arms.
Yep.
Kevin Williams. Good one. And again, Oregon State winds up with
Here goes Johnson. Fill in the lane. Nice.
Oh! And a foul against St. John's, Kevin Williams.
Hey, give Johnson some credit. He filled the lane about 80 feet on that particular play. Great hustle by the big guy.
Watch Bloom set it up.
Yep, he's waiting on him. And see the big guy? He came all the way from the other end of the floor. Great hustle. He hadn't played many minutes today, but is very productive.
25 points already.
You better believe it.
And his 75% field goal percentage isn't going to be nicked either.
One shot.
He hasn't shot outside of what, 5 feet?
No, outside of 5 feet, very seldom.
You know what he's so good at, too, is not getting caught for lane violations. He knows how to play that, as you call it, Al, the paint.
He also knows how to grab the rim when he goes for dunks.
So it's 51-36, and that three-point play just about does it for Oregon State, as they have only 4 minutes to spend, and they've won 21 in a row. Goodwin racing into Johnson, and Goodwin fouls. All right, the question, Al McGuire and Billy Packer. Oregon State apparently is going to win this one and will remain #1 in the UPI poll. We'll see it again. I'd like to ask you, Virginia #1 in the Sports Writers Sportscasters poll. How do you think the two would play each other? How do you think that game would shape up, Al?
Well, I think that Oregon State has a lot of well-coached patterns, defensive and offensive. They cover you all over the court, and they wait for that one run. Obviously, Virginia's an outstanding ball club. They probably have the best ball player in the country, I would say, with Ralph Dick Sampson.
Kelly, what do you think?
Well, I think that Sampson will be able to play behind Johnson with his ability to go up and block shots even though he doesn't have a body on him. So that would be a real test for Johnson. But I think one of the advantages Oregon State might have is these 3 guys they've got in their press are really, really tough.
Foul is on Kevin Kevin Williams hacking on the wrist, his third foul.
And being non-committal, the other thing Virginia would have at their favor is the fact that you cannot play back in that tight zone because Virginia has perimeter shooters. They will put the ball up from the outside. I think it'd be a great game.
They're unbelievable from the outside.
So who do you pick right now as number one?
Well, I tell you my feeling on this. I felt that Oregon State going through last year was number 2 and 3 in the country. They stubbed their toe against Lamar in the NCAA the first round. I think they had to wait for DePaul to lose, which they did. DePaul lost. They became number 1. I feel that Virginia has to wait for Oregon State to lose for them to become number 1. And if both teams would lose, then I think probably DePaul or LSU would move into number 1.
So you're saying you think you would vote for Oregon State as number 1 at
only
this
because
one.
they've made a 2-year run at it. Virginia's really just came this year. They had a hot hand in the NIT, but last year they lost about 9 to 10 games, didn't they, Billy?
What do you think, Billy? How would you vote?
Well, I agree. I think that a team that's number 1, almost like a heavyweight champion. You know, when you're number 1, I think that you stay there until somebody beats you.
Right.
I agree with that. I'll tell you right now, though, as far as teams that are playing well, even though Georgia gave them a great run today, LSU may be playing as dominating the basketball as anybody in the country.
Again, Billy, they got the seniors. You got to have that maturity. They got 4 seniors at their start, and Georgia is 1 year away from a good team.
And one player.
Well, one player, or a player and a half.
Charlie Sitton being consoled on the sidelines. He fouled out. Ron Player made one of the free throws, and now St. John's going to get another chance. Ralph Miller appealing to the official. His team's in front, 51-37.
Dick, you hear so much about blue-chip players, you know, 5-star players. We were kidding Howie Garfinkel today, one of the great minds of high school basketball, about the 5-star players. Said, hey, Howie, you're talking about all the great blue-chippers. They only have 1 on their team. Most of the kids at Oregon State were not the guys that were highly recruited until Sitton came along. And that shows that if you can get maturity, you can get kids that want to play together, and they have adequate talent. By the time they mature, they become a very, very good team.
Wayne McCoy looking for his 10th point. St. John's tied for the Big East lead with Boston College, 7-3. Oregon State leads Arizona State in the Pac-10. And will still play the Sun Devils up in Corvallis.
The way you tell a well-coached team is at the end of the game, they still stay in their pattern. They work exactly the same as they did the first 3 minutes of the game. They are now looking for a back door that's spreading out. Nice two-hand passing, no excessive dribbling. They will eventually feel the ball, feed the ball on a golden platter to Mr. Johnson.
Oh, nice defense by Williams.
And not only pass well, but as soon as they pass, Al, they cut. They make a move.
5 seconds call was right there. Gilroy on Holbrook.
2:40 left. Oregon State.
Here it goes to Steve again.
Before he received the pass, he knocked McCoy about 3 rows over.
That's 5 fouls
He's
on
out.
Steve Johnson. So Oregon State loses 2 starters on 5 fouls. Johnson and Sitton. And Johnson gets a hand even from the St. John's fans. He leaves with 26 points, game high.
Obviously, will be in the top 3 or 4 in the NBA draft coming up in April or May.
And a candidate for the John Wooden Award as college basketball's best player this year, along with Mark McGuire and many others. 2:36 left in this game. Oregon State has a 51-38 lead against St. John's.
I'm not the same crazy coach who used to storm around the sidelines yelling at the officials. I've learned to relax, and I drink light beer from Miller. Do you know that light's got 1/3 less calories than a regular beer? And listen to this. Light doesn't fill me up. Besides that, light tastes fantastic. Oh, sure, there are a lot of other beers around, and you can drink any one you want. But let me tell you this. For
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
As I was saying, I don't care what anybody else...
Goodyear adds something extra to radials. All-season performance. So radials like Arriva are built for sun, for rain, for snow. Arriva is a high-mileage, fuel-efficient, steel-belted radial. Even its footprint tells you it's different. So why buy a conventional radial when you can step up to Goodyear's newest all-season radial? Goodyear. Quality and innovation.
On NBC Sports World, see a hard-hitting slugfest between Curtis Parker and Mustafa Hamsho. Then the World Pro Figure Skating Championship with Ty Babylonia and Randy Gardner tomorrow.
Here at the Nassau Coliseum, Oregon State leading St. John's 51-38. A week from tomorrow, you're going to see this man, Ralph Sampson of Virginia, as the Cavaliers unbeaten. They won today. Oh, what a play. That was against Ohio State earlier this year. Sampson will be matched against a lot of physical power inside for Notre Dame. That'll be a week from tomorrow here on NBC.
And it seems to be Notre Dame's type of game. You know, an undefeated team coming into your rising in Chicago. The place will be completely green, and they'll be ready to upset them.
Wayne McGuire now in double figures. He's averaging 14 a game. Tip by Blair. Rebound, Connor. Boy, he gets up at 6'4".
And there's that 6'4" guy they list as a forward, but he has all the great attributes of a guard, but he can get in the air.
Backdoor to Radford. Traveling.
Some call there.
Radford thought he got a body check there in the corner. Today, and this is third round action, Hale Irwin has moved into the lead. 2 strokes on Simpson, and hey, Don January in the...
Sing to me again, Don.
Wayne McCoy makes it 51-41 with 2 minutes left.
Notice how Connors becomes the guy that handles the ball in the tough spot. Bloom going down the other end of the court.
Play the clock. Don't fool around. Play the clock. They're in a semi-type delay. They'll take a high percentage shot, but it has to be within 3 feet.
Foul is on Kevin Williams. And Coach, you've talked about it so many times, and our upstairs camera could show it. The movement away from the ball. When you're in a pressure situation like this, the other team trying to double team, get the ball away. If everyone's passing and cutting, that really takes it away from that defense.
Well, then they can't double team. The idea, Dick, is never crisscross, because once you crisscross against pressure, the other defensive man double teams you. The other 3 fellas then cut off the outlet passing zones. And that's usually when you turn the ball over.
Lester Connor averaging 6.5 a game. He's a Dennis Johnson type player. Excellent defense, good spring. He's the second leading rebounder on the team. Not a big scorer, but an excellent assist man. In fact, he leads the team in assists despite the fact he didn't start until the UCLA game 2 weeks ago.
Connor really not that good a shooter, and one of the reasons for it is too late to change in his career, but he shoots the ball off his palm. He hit both of those beautifully. Got a nice release, but he holds the ball in the palm of his hand.
You know what happens a lot of times, Billy? These kids start so early, they start shooting at 10-feet baskets. The fathers and mothers should lower the basket to about 7 feet where they're shooting rather than throwing it.
Billy Goodwin hits from outside, and it's back to 10 points, 53-43.
Louis sitting on the sideline saying, why couldn't we had some of those shots fall earlier, make a game out of this thing?
Now look at him balance the floor, pass and move, and Radford score. No, Connor scored.
Basketball at its best. That's the old Eastern style. The give and go, the shuffle, pass the ball, unselfish, hit the open man.
Good one, can't hit. Rebound, Connor again. Boy, he plays both ends.
You'll see no one-on-one this time down. Take the ball, they'll pass it, they'll cut without it, move. Everybody in motion. They take the eye out of the team, these fellas.
That's a good experience. That's one of those you see on the
There's no eye in
locker
team.
room wall for the player. No eye in the word team. And Oregon State, this has been a demonstration of really what a fine 5-man team they are. It's going to be tough to pick our most valuable player, but I suppose that you got to look at the book, and even though he played so very little, Steve Johnson is my vote. How about you, gentlemen? Anyone disagree?
I'd have to go along that he was the factor that when he came in there, he just dominated. Early in the game, got those quick 8, and then in the second half, just knocked him around.
I'm going to do it too.
Steve Johnson, $1,000 to Oregon State University. Chevrolet presenting that scholarship in honor of Steve Johnson's play today.
And if I was coaching today, I offer his son a scholarship.
Oh, he turned it over.
Kevin Williams can't score, but he was fouled. 44 seconds.
I got to ask you, of course, you're a St. John's guy. A guy who scored 22 points more than the St. John's team today is the individual record. Bob Zawalik has looking through their record book history. You played with him, didn't you?
I played with him for 2 years. You couldn't play as a freshman then. Then I left, and he was in the senior year. He could fill it up. He was a tremendous offensive ball player.
He still holds the records. It's incredible. You don't see many guys that far back in the school's history that still hold records, but he's got most of them here offensively.
We run selfish people.
Let Billy answer that quiz that he had. What was the answer to the other coach that won top coach in 3 different conferences?
Norman Sloan.
What were the conferences?
He won in the Southern, the ACC, and the SEC.
Last touch by Radford. And with a score of 55-45, Carnesecca St. John's Redmen try to cut into the lead. 35 seconds left.
And although he looks like he's 35 years of age, he's another one of the guys that has those victories over age 50 that you were talking about.
Now, there aren't many, and we're going to, if we have time, develop that in future weeks. Ralph Miller, Marv Harshman, Ray Meyer, the 3 coaches that came to mind over 60 still active. It's not a game for men of
Tex
that age.
Winter.
I don't know if Tex is 60. He might argue with you.
This is strictly a Geritol group, the 5 of them. Golden ages. We'll get him.
Abe Clemens may not be 60, but we put him in anyway.
Don't
Abe
say
won't
that.
like that. The Will Rogers
You're
of
in trouble.
basketball.
You're in trouble, Dick.
Want to thank David Stern, our producer, George Finkel, our director. Fine job, gentlemen. More basketball for you tomorrow. Maryland and North Carolina.
Charge. No basket.
Offensive foul. Our statistician has been Catholic Quinn, Bill Esposito's assistant in the Sports Information Office here at St. John's. Into Radford. 55-45, final seconds. Oregon State about to make it 21 in a row.
Dick, tomorrow we're going to see 2 teams that got a chance to be in that Final Four also, I think, when we see Maryland and North Carolina play.
David Russell fouled before the shot. Radford got him.
And some of the great individual players in the country, Albert King, Buck Williams, Worthy and Wood, and a young one, Perkins, who holds his own against just about anybody.
Well, Perkins goes along with this fella here, the Sidit, and also Glenn Rivers. They're all great freshman ball players.
Well, in the NCAA, gentlemen, Johnson is #1 in field goal percentage. Buck Williams of Maryland is 4, and Perkins is 6. So we're going to see in these 2 days 3 of the top 6 shooters in the country.
Al, Kevin McGee's having quite a year.
Oh, that's the man I did a show on last year.
You remember.
Oh, sure I do. Saddleback Junior College.
There you go. Hey,
now at UC Irvine.
You tipped him off, Dick.
No, I didn't. Honestly, I didn't. We're going to have time to chat with some of the Oregon State Beavers. So stay with us. 55-45, final seconds. We go to the other end. Don't forget Hawaiian Open golf to follow. And those of you on the West Coast, you've got a second game. UCLA hosting Arizona State. Very important game as they battle right behind Oregon State in the Pac-10.
That ball game's a keeper out there.
McShane rattles one in. 56-45, his 4th point. Final shot will be taken by David Russell. And the game is over. Oregon State will maintain its position atop the nation's best. Ralph Miller's Beavers have won 21 in a row. They've survived a long trip across the country after playing on Thursday night, and they beat a fine team, the leader, co-leader in the Big East, St. John's, 57-45. And the word today for Oregon State was defense. They were tough. We'll be right back.
On NBC Sports World, see a middleweight slugfest as the hard-hitting Curtis Parker squares off against the powerful Mustafa Hamsho. Plus, coverage of the World Pro Figure Skating Championship featuring the heartthrobs of the 1980 Olympics, Ty Babylonia and Randy Gardner, the exciting team of Jim Milnes and Colleen O'Connor, the spectacular Christina Ragozzi and Andra Soleil, and 3-time U.S. Pairs champion JoJo Starbuck and Ken Shelley. That's all tomorrow on NBC Sports World.
57-45. Luke Carnesecca, St. John's Redmen defeated for only the 6th time this year. Oregon State runs off 21 in a row, and the most valuable player today, Steve Johnson of Oregon State.
Thanks a lot, Dick. And Steve, congratulations. I know you'd like to have more playing time.
Yeah, tonight,
I'm known for having foul trouble, and I think tonight the calls are very inconsistent. I couldn't figure out what the way they're going to call them. McGuire is very strong inside with just taking his arm and just wrapping it around people. And then when we tried to post up strong, they called us for a foul. So, it was probably our worst game of the year, but still to beat a good team with your worst game, it's got to say something.
Let me ask you about you individually as a ball player. Getting position inside, how much have you worked on that to go ahead and be able to get that ball down there so well?
I work on it all the time. Ever since my freshman year when I was working down low to get the hook shot, now people took the hook shot away from me, so I had to start using my body to get in the position so I can get the easy layups.
Well, you've been getting them, and Dick, this big guy's going to be a factor in that Final Four.
No question about it. Our most valuable player, Steve Johnson, 27 points today. For Billy Packer, Al McGuire, Dick Enberg, thank you for being with us. The final score, Oregon State 57 and St. John's 45. We'll see you again tomorrow from College Park, Maryland. It'll be Carolina and the Terrapins. The executive producer of NBC's basketball is Don Ohlmeyer. Coordinating producer, George Finkel. Telecast of today's game has been produced by David Stern, directed by George Finkel. Technical director, Bill Toby. Feature producer, David Hoffman. Associate director, Randy Wands. Associate producer, Bill Peters. Unit manager, Steve Helmuth. Technical supervisor, Cal Shadwell. And now, stay tuned as NBC Sports travels from Long Island to the sunny island of Oahu for the Hawaiian Open, which follows these messages from your local stations.
A promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines. United serves more of this land than any other airline. That's what friendly skies are all about.